What's up, people? Welcome back to Invest with T-Claus. My name is Tevi, and this channel is dedicated to my investment journey, along with coverage on crypto, Tesla, Neo, Virgin Galactic, and ChargePoint. Come for the information and stay for the perspective. So it is good to be back. I spent the last couple of weeks competing in a Move to Earn challenge put on by Artifact and Nike that kicked off on Halloween. 20 days and just over 1 million steps later, I took 5th place in the global ranking out of 250 participants, securing these Air Force One, which is a collaboration between Takashi Murakami, Artifact, and Nike. Also, the other prize that I'm getting is a hardtail carbon fiber backpack. And I gotta say, pretty proud of myself. I mean, look at the distance covered. That is insane, and I still can't believe I did that. But in that time, so back on topic, Bitcoin made a new all-time high of $99,605. Bitcoin currently trades for around $96,000, and it's fair to say that the $100,000 mark resistance will be broken in the coming weeks. That's insane to think about. A $100,000 Bitcoin was a prediction in the last cycle, but we never quite made it there. And if you remember, we crashed down to $15,000. It's been an epic run making it here, and you best believe Bitcoin will make a few more all-time highs throughout 2025. And so I'm sure the question on everyone's mind is, what about the Bitcoin miners like Mara? Will they return to their all-time high? And so in today's video, I'll go over some of the most recent news around the stock. We'll then take a look at the current analyst recommendations, some positive changes here, and I'll close with my answer to the question and what I'm personally doing as far as buying, holding, or selling. As always, this is not to be taken as financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is my personal approach to investing and the thought process behind it. I'd recommend watching all the way through so that you don't miss out on anything pertinent I will be sharing. Drop the video a like if you haven't already, and smash that subscribe button. Those are 2 easy ways to show your support to the channel and help it grow if you appreciate the content. All right, let's get into it. The last time I was covering the Mara stock, we had fallen down to the low to mid-teens on the stock price, and here's what I told you then. In my opinion, and it's just my opinion, this is the start of the recovery and not a bull trap. The Mara stock, as far as I can tell, looks ready to start a steady climb fueled by Bitcoin gains. Since then, the Mara stock is up 23.54% this past week, 37.22% over the past month, and over 50% since the US election results in early November. There is a direct correlation there given the pro-crypto stance of the incoming administration. That aside, Mara posted its earning result just over a week ago on November 12th. The stock initially rallied leading up to the earning call before dropping on the news of the earning miss. Expectations were for an EPS or earning per share loss of 25 cents. Instead, they delivered a worse than expected loss of 32 cents per share. The reason the stock recovered and is now on the upswing again is the announcement that came with doubling down on their HODL strategy. Mara issued $1 billion with a B, worth of convertible notes in a private equity raise. The fund raised allowed them to refinance their existing debt, bolster their balance sheet, and buy even more Bitcoin to be added to their treasury. They added 5,771 Bitcoin to be exact, following the completion of the cash raise. The good thing about utilizing the convertible note approach to raise capital is that it does not dilute existing investors, at least not until these notes become due in 2030. There are, of course, a few caveats, but generally speaking, that is the benefit of this approach. The bottom line here is this. With this latest Bitcoin acquisition added to the previously reported 26,747 Bitcoin held, it brings their total Bitcoin on the balance sheet to over 30,000, making them the second largest publicly traded company holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet. They are only second to Microstrategy, who is utilizing the same HODL strategy and seeing a ridiculous amount of success with their stock price appreciation. We saw a quick increase in the stock price in the last couple of weeks, but considering the recent miss on earnings, analysts are still cautious on the stock. The overall consensus rating is set to hold. That recommendation is made up of 8 ratings versus 7 prior. And so we have 3 buy ratings, 4 hold ratings instead of 3 prior, and still just a 1 sell rating. The high end of the range has increased from $27 to now $33, and the low end has also increased from $12 to now $19 per share. So shifting everything up directionally, looking at the average consensus price target of $26.17, you can see why the hold rating is in effect. We are basically there as of Friday's stock price close of $26.03. Sentiment around the stock is cautiously optimistic at this point, but it's pretty apparent that momentum is building up once again as Bitcoin prepares to cross the $100,000 level. From a technical analysis perspective, the stock is not yet overbought, with RSI sitting at 66.47, meaning that we have room to directionally move up a bit closer to the $30 per share mark before pulling back. The one thing to be aware of is that next week we get inflation data and commentary from the Fed, which could drive us lower faster near term, but that won't last, right? So keep that in mind. This now brings us to the question at the start of this video. Can Mara return to its all-time high? The previous cycle all-time high was $75.92, so essentially a 3x from where we are currently. If you recall, my entire thesis is predicated on the fact that Bitcoin will cross the six-figure mark, so over $100,000 this cycle per coin. Now, this is happening a bit earlier than expected. As I was originally projecting, this would happen sometimes in Q1 next year. The last all-time high for Mara occurred post-Bitcoin all-time high, and while QE, or quantitative easing, was taking place with the Fed funds rate at near zero. We are just getting started with the rate cuts at the macro level, and specific to Mara itself, October was their best month of Bitcoin production, with a month-over-month increase in production and energized hash rate hitting 40.2 exahash per second to a year-end goal of 50 exahash per second. And so really my point is 2025 is queued up to see a return to all-time high in my opinion. And so for now, I'm continuing to use the DCA approach, or dollar cost averaging, to steadily increase my position. That said, the difference in my approach now is that I'm taking a more active role by locking in profit after big run-ups to increase purchasing power and better take advantage of the pullbacks. Personally, I'm expecting a solid sell-off on Bitcoin post-New Year and consequently the mining stock. Now, that may not sound good, but hear me out. That will actually be an opportunity to add as other people are taking profit, the price comes down, it's an easier entry point, and that is going to be before the big ramp up to all-time high. And that is how I see it. But on that note, that is it for me today. If you found value in my content and feel so inclined, click the thanks button at the bottom of the screen. Remember to click the like button and share with others who you think could also benefit from it. For my newcomers, subscribe, it's free, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you too can stay in the know. I'll be back next Sunday for my weekly video. Till then, you can keep up with me here on X for crypto and NFT related news. Thank you for watching, stay humble, hustle hard, and I'll see you in the next one.